Well, in 1915, my grandfather, James Richard Thompson, got 9 other people together, and they incorporated as Mountain View Cemetery. 1937, when my grandfather died, my father took it over. At that time, the funeral home started to grow and kept on growing and growing and growing. Well, my dad started Easter sunrise services way back in the 30s. It was just a tradition. When Easter came, why, we'd have an Easter sunrise service.
The Thompsons wanted all of us to succeed from within, to be your very best, so they emphasized service. Service being from us, from the staff. If you just have the ability and the passion just to want to help people, that's where it started.
Well, the Vietnam Wall was a duplicate of what was built in Washington, D.C., with all the names on it. And we had a Veterans Day ceremony here. We had a helicopter from Fort Lewis sitting down below here. And at a certain time, it came up over the hill and came and sat down. There wasn't a dry eye in the whole place. It was unbelievable. Still gets to me. But anyway, that was one of the greatest things that we ever did. We had people come here 24 hours a day from all over the Northwest just to be here next to that wall.
There was always the model of community service and giving back to the community. I mean, Mountain View wouldn't have been successful if it weren't for the community supporting us. And so we live in this community, we need to be part of it.
The one incident that really comes to mind that told me that the staff here at Mountain View is thoughtful from a community-based point of view is when we had 4 police officers gunned down.
After the deaths of the Lakewood officers, we felt we needed to do something else. So we began to think of completing and building of a monument in their memory. So the First Responders Memorial was established in the Garden of Honor here at Mountain View.
To this day, we oftentimes will see on a daily basis visitors coming out from the Lakewood Police Department to come out and to remember and just to spend some time to honor.
And Mountain View stepped up and with grace and dignity took care of them, took care of their families, showed the kindness, caring, and compassion. That's when I knew that Linda and I needed to come in and make our pre-arrangements here with our friends at Mountain View.
In 1915, Mountain View Cemetery was started with the commitment to provide the very best service to every family that walked in with the need to be cared for. I believe that same commitment continues today to ensure that every single family is not only cared for, but that they're cared for with the best intentions.
One of the most wonderful things about his gravesite, and the reason I chose it, is my husband was 6'4". I am 5'2". In front of his gravesite is a tall evergreen tree and a little maple tree that's got its arms around the big tree. And one of the most wonderful things about my husband was his hugs. So when I saw that little tree hugging the big tree, I knew that's where we belonged. It was in an area that was undeveloped, and I was told it might not be possible. And I said, this is the spot I want. So the next day they called me and told me, we have arranged for you to have this spot. So it was awesome. It was just awesome.
What the mausoleum provides is the ability for families to have a nice, clean, safe place that they can come in and visit. That also provides the opportunity for families to continue to personalize and to remember what made their loved one so unique.
We knew we wanted him cremated because Jesse did not want to be buried in the ground. So they did tell us about the new mausoleum that they have, the Rainier Mausoleum. The mausoleum itself, the gardens outside, they're gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. So he's finally at a beautiful, peaceful place where he can rest. Mountain View stands up above and beyond anything, just because of the sheer honesty of their caring and their compassion. And they know anyone that walks through that door is hurting and suffering. And they do everything humanly possible to help with that. They know they can't take it away, but they're there to help you. They were phenomenal. They were absolutely outstanding with helping with that.
I oftentimes think of Mountain View as a city within a city where there's over 100,000 people that are interred here. This has great strength to families in the community, knowing that for generations, at some point up to 5 generations, of their loved ones are in our care. And with that comes the trust and the knowledge that Mountain View will continue to be here for many more generations to come.